welcome all. I'm Sherry Grabow. With Pillar 2 enacted by many countries, but guidance and implementation still evolving, there are other pressing global tax areas companies are turning their attention to, including increased reporting with a focus on transparency, Pillar 1 updates, and taxation of the digital economy. So today we have Monica Cohen-Dumani and Stewart Brant with us to talk about their insights in these areas. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Sherry, for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. So in addition to the EU, we are seeing a lot of countries focus on transparency and information sharing. Monica, what transparency measures are you seeing countries enact globally?
We're seeing a tsunami of regulations coming out with lots and lots of reporting obligations that do come with it. A lot of them are really focusing on the sustainability area. I think transparency is just what everybody has gotten used to, right, with our society. This is what we're used to. Well, it expands now into all spheres. And in the EU, for instance, we do have CSRD that will bring a lot of transparency, a lot of reporting that needs to be done with over 1,000 reporting points across 12 different reporting standards, actually. And it's a lot of financial information as well as non-financial information, and therefore will make public a lot of data points that until now were not necessarily public.
Stewart, turning to the implementation of Amount A of Pillar 1 still being uncertain, we've seen an ever-increasing desire of governments to collect more tax revenue from remote digital transactions. Will we see more activity in this space?
Hey, thanks, Sherry. So I think we will, definitely. I think companies are going to have to prepare for a whole range of outcomes. With the uncertainty of Amount A, we've got countries already that have DSTs in place, but it's not just DSTs. We're seeing different other types of measures that have kind of the same policy objectives. These are protectionist measures, significant economic presence tests, more withholding taxes, diverted profits taxes, the ATO's recent ruling on embedded royalties, which I think we hope doesn't become a contagion effect there. And I think countries now more so than ever are focused on services. And this is not only digital and otherwise. And these are services being performed outside of a country, but being paid for within a country. So I think going forward, we can expect to see, more types of unilateral measures, I think predominantly focused on services, whether it's a universal withholding tax. But a lot of uncertainty, and I'll finish with how I started. I think companies are going to have to prepare for a range of possible outcomes this year.
Thank you. So I would ask this question to you both. The global tax landscape, it continues to shift at an unprecedented pace. How can companies keep up?
I'll go first. Yeah. Just one foot in front of the next, I think. Not be discouraged, and at the same time team up across silos in the company. I don't think any function really can just function in its own silo and say, well, you do your thing, I do mine. All these things, the rules, the regulations that are coming out really require collaboration and teamwork.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, so I think definitely share your sentiments. I'll just focus briefly on Pillar 2, which has completely changed the landscape, potentially leveled some of the landscape there, but we're seeing more and more countries as they announce their Pillar 2 plans also announce, different ways of how they're looking at, maintaining their attractiveness for companies, whether or not it's converting their credits into QRTCs or other types of incentives or sweeteners, so to speak, to entice that. So I think companies need to stay engaged, continue to monitor developments, which are not completely aligned as countries move forward, but I think stay engaged.
Thank you both for joining us and sharing your insights today.
Thank you, Sherry, for having us. It was great to be with you.
Yeah, it was great, Sherry. Thanks.
And thank you all for joining us. Take care.